think we just did a very good job with Thailand and Cambodia. We had them stopped, and I've been saying they stopped 8 wars, but they started shooting at each other 2 days ago. Was it good?
Fighting continues along the disputed Thailand-Cambodia border, as Thailand's caretaker Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul flatly denied claims that the two sides have agreed to a ceasefire.
We haven't talked, no, we haven't had any agreements at all. It was just a regular discussion to update each other. And I confirmed that regarding the matter of the conflict between the two countries, both countries must proceed with protecting. Thailand must act to fully protect its sovereignty and its people. So will there be a ceasefire? Cambodia fired heavily. This morning, Cambodia fired into an area that is not, it was not a military target. And this morning, Cambodia fired BM-21 rockets into a community area where civilians live. Civilians were seriously injured. They lost limbs. So does Thailand have to just sit and listen now?
The Thai leader added that any genuine ceasefire would require Cambodia to submit a formal proposal directly to Thailand and fully halt all military activity. A ceasefire, he said, cannot be based on verbal announcements or partial pauses while troops remain in position. Thailand's defense minister, General Nataphan Narkpanit, echoed that position, saying the armed forces have received no order to stop operations. The denial came after President Trump claimed that he had spoken with both Prime Minister Anutin and Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet, and that the two sides had agreed to cease all shooting.
And numerous others. And what I'd love to do, when you have all of these media people, it's a nice slow afternoon. Nothing's too slow around here. I think we just did a very good job with Thailand and Cambodia. We had them stopped, and I've been saying they stopped 8 wars, but they started shooting at each other 2 days ago. Was it good? And we got it, I think, straightened out today. So Thailand and Cambodia is in good shape. So we get a lot done. 8 wars. Nobody's ever stopped 8 wars. We have 1 more to go. The easiest one, I thought, would be a country that you're somewhat familiar with, Russia and Ukraine. But a lot of progress is being made even there.
Following Trump's statement, Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim urged both sides to halt hostilities and proposed deploying an ASEAN observer team to monitor the situation. Cambodia later said it had accepted Malaysia's proposal.
And numerous others. And what I'd love to do, when you have all of these media people, it's a nice slow afternoon. Nothing's too slow around here. I think we just did a very good job with Thailand and Cambodia. We had them stopped, and I've been saying they stopped 8 wars, but they started shooting at each other 2 days ago. Was it good? And we got it, I think, straightened out today. So Thailand and Cambodia is in good shape. So we get a lot done. 8 wars. Nobody's ever stopped 8 wars. We have 1 more to go. The easiest one, I thought, would be a country that you're somewhat familiar with, Russia and Ukraine. But a lot of progress is being made even there.
Mr. President,
do you plan to withhold funding?
You've talked about land strikes happening soon. Is there anything at this point that can prevent that? And is the objective, if you make that decision,
well, I don't want to say that, but it's not only land strikes on Venezuela. It's land strikes on horrible people that are bringing in drugs and killing our people. If we were in a war and we lost 300,000 people in a year, because that's what the real number is. It's not 100. You keep hearing 100. And it's a lot worse than that because the families are devastated when they lose their child. If we were in a war and we lost 2 or 300,000, but I think it's more than 300,000, and that's a war that's like a war that would be unparalleled. Nobody's ever seen anything like that, and that's what's happening. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in Venezuela. It's people that are bringing in drugs to our country are targets.
At the end of this year, those extended Obamacare subsidies expire. What's your message to those 24 million Americans who will see their insurance premiums go up?
Don't make it sound so bad because, obviously you're a sycophant for Democrats. You're obviously a provider of bad news for Republicans. Let me just say something. The Republicans, I think I can speak for Tom and most other people. I think what most Republicans want to see is what I want to see. And I leave it to them, and hopefully they're going to put great legislation on this desk right here. We want to see all of the money that's been squandered and given to insurance companies, because Obamacare is horrible health insurance. It's far too expensive, and it always has been. But what it really is a way of making insurance companies rich. We want the money not to be paid at all to insurance companies. You know, insurance companies have gone up 1,700% over a short, meaning the stock, 1,700% over a short period of time. And they've taken in hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars. And we want the money to go to the people. They'll go in the form of a insurance account, healthcare account, or any other form that we can create. We have a lot of different forms. We want to give the money to the people and let the people buy their own great health care. And they'll save a lot of money, and it'll be great. Now, the problem we have is that the Republicans are not at all controlled by the insurance companies. But you know who is? The Democrats. The Democrats have received hundreds of millions of dollars. They're totally controlled by the insurance companies. So we might not get too many of the votes. But I actually think we'd get some Democrat votes. So I don't know how you feel about it, Tom, but everybody wants to see this happen. Everybody. I put it out, and all of a sudden we've taken over in a positive way. The Republicans have taken over health care in a positive way. I want to see the billions of dollars go to the people, not to the insurance companies. And I want to see the people go out and buy themselves great health care. Much better health care at very little cost. That's what I want, and it's so simple.
Thank you. A follow-up on that. Many congressional Republicans have said they won't vote for an Obamacare extension deal if it includes funding for abortion. Would you assure those Republicans that you will not propose?
Well, we're going to look into it. We're going to look into a lot of things. That's one of many factors. But what we do want to see is we want to see the money go to the people, not to the insurance.
Mr. President.
No, wait. You have to be nice and easy. Nice and easy. She's very aggressive. Okay, please.
Thanks, Mr. President. Can you tell us how this free economic zone would work in the Donbass and land that the Russians took by force?
Well, I don't want to do that now. It's a very complex situation, but it would work, and a lot of people want to see it work. And all I want to do is I want to stop the death of 25,000 people a month. Go ahead.
How are you
Thank you, Mr. President. There were new Epstein photos released today showing you and also Bill Clinton, Steve Bannon. What were your reaction to those new photos that were released?
Well, I haven't seen it, but I mean, everybody knew this man. He was all over Palm Beach. He has photos with everybody. I mean, almost there are hundreds and hundreds of people that have photos with him. So that's no big deal. I know nothing about it.
How big a role do you want to personally play in the decision by the Fed on interest rates?
Well, I've made a lot of money. I've been very successful, and I think my role should be at least that of a recommending. They don't have to follow what I say, but we're going to be choosing a new Fed person in the pretty near future.